Welcome to the GrandMA 3 Fundamentals series. Today we're going to take a tour of the user interface. Before we start building shows, programming cues, or controlling fixtures, it's important to understand where everything lives and how to navigate efficiently. By the end of the video, you'll understand the purpose of each major area and feel comfortable navigating the software. One thing to know is that GrandMA 3 is built around customizable workspaces. Almost everything you see can be resized, moved, or replaced. Unlike older consoles, you're not locked into specific screen layouts. So if some of this feels a little overwhelming, it's okay. Let's get started by taking a look at the control bar. The control bar lies at the left-hand side of the screen, and if you're on a console, this might not be visible to you right away. To toggle the visibility of the control bar, click on the empty space and click Show Control Bar. This will either hide or show you the control bar. You can also toggle the visibility of the control bar by going down to the left-hand corner and clicking the left arrow icon. At the top of the control bar, you'll find the power button. This allows you to shut down or restart the console and its software. You can also lock the software with the lock button. This is handy for settings where you might not want other people to be able to touch your console or the show file. Clicking the gear icon will give you access to the main menu. The main things to know are the patch menu, the backup menu, and the settings menu. The patch menu is where you tell the console what lights you have and how they work. The backup menu allows you to save and load show files. And the settings will give you the general settings of the console to make it as user-friendly as possible for you. The next few settings of the control bar will allow you to see what is typically the surface of the console. For instance, the command section, the master controls, the custom master section, playbacks, and the encoder bar control. The displays menu will allow you to choose which displays are currently being shown in the on-PC software. Note that if you're on a console, you will not have this option, as you will be limited to whatever console size you have. The Help button will allow you to access the GrandMA 3 Documents page on whatever you click on, for instance, the user-defined workspace. This will give me all the details I need to know about the user-defined workspace. You can also find it by going to the GrandMA 3 Documents page. If you would like an experience that is more similar to the console, right-click and press Show Encoder Bar. This will allow you to see the encoder bar at all times, regardless of what view you're in. If you would like to also see the playbacks, click the icon in the control bar. Now let's talk about the command line. The command line allows you to enter manual commands into the console. You can either access your light, move around presets, or reference other things in the show file. All of your actions will also be recorded into the command line. So if you have a series of actions that you would like to use again and want to copy it into something like a macro for repeatability, click the MA button. This will show your command line history, along with all of the actions that you have done in the session. Now let's talk about the encoder bar. The encoder bar can be viewed by right-clicking in an empty workspace and pressing Show Encoder Bar. Down here, you'll find the attributes of fixtures that you can control. These will also change depending on what fixture you choose. The encoder bar also allows you to view the selection grid. This is where we can change and reorder our fixtures manually. Our phaser menu is where we can see how our effects are working and allow us to change the effects in real time. The matrix menu will affect the selection grid and allow us to change it in custom ways, as well as apply our effects in certain orders. Programmer time adds a fade to the programmer. This is handy if you're at an event and would like to make a small change without making it too obvious. The same thing also applies for executor time. If you'd like to delay all of your executors, you can add executor time, and this will give a natural fade to all of your sequences, even if they don't have one built into the queue. The Grandmaster will show you the overall output of the console. If you're on a physical console, you can press the knob to give a blackout. Or, on the software, you can raise and lower the bar. Notice that as my bar moves away from 100%, I'll have a flashing red light as well as a warning saying Grand. This means that my Grandmaster is not at 100% and my console is not outputting its maximum output. Now, if you understand that you are changing your Grandmaster, then that's fine. But if you see this warning, you might want to give it a look. The user-defined area is perhaps the most important part of the GrandMA 3 software, and is what gives it its custom workspace effect. Think of the user-defined workspace as a bunch of empty spaces that you can fill out to however you want. To add a window, left-click. GrandMA 3 naturally adds all of its windows into tab groups to help organize itself. The Common tab will show you all of the common windows that most people use on a day-to-day basis, like the 3D viewer, the sequence sheet, and the layout view. The Data Pools tab will allow you to see all of the objects that are not fixtures, for instance, macros, plugins, groups, or filters. The Presets tab allows you to see all of the preset windows that you can choose from. The Dynamic Preset window allows you to see all of the presets related to whichever attribute you have selected in the encoder bar. For instance, if you have dimmer selected, it will show you your dimmer attributes. The All 1 through All 5 preset pools allows you to store multiple attributes into the same preset. The Feature Group windows are preset pools that filter out what information can be stored inside. For instance, the Dimmer Feature Group pool will only take in dimmer information. The Pools windows will allow you to access all the other features of GrandMA 3. This is where you can add your images, symbols, videos, and appearances. The Tools window allows you to access all the various tools that GrandMA 3 has to offer, for instance the selection grid, the recipe editor, as well as the fixture sheet. The More tab will allow you to view more windows that are mostly related to the console that you can't access on a physical computer. The All tab lists out all of the possible windows that GrandMA 3 has to offer and allows you to filter. That way, you don't have to scroll through tabs and try to search for the one you want. Now let's talk about views. Views allow us to store and recall our workspaces, so let's start by building one. I know I would like my groups. I also would like my dimmer presets. I can resize the windows by clicking the bottom right-hand corner and reshaping it to where I want. I can also move a pool by clicking the top left-hand corner and moving it to where I want. I'll also add in my Dynamics group. Now that I've built a workspace, I need to store it somehow. Using the store key on either the console, typing into the command line, or using quickies will allow you to store the information to where you need. Click on an empty view slot. This will give you the Store View Options menu. Whether you're on PC or using a console, you can save multiple displays worth of information inside of one view. This allows you to make your workspaces a lot more efficient, especially if you need to change multiple displays at the same time. You can also label your view. I'm going to choose Presets and click Enter. This allows me to recall that presets view anytime I need. So whether I go to my phaser view, my 3D view, or my help view, I can still recall my presets view and go back to where I was. Another cool feature of GrandMA 3 is the Swipies menu. Swipies allow you to access quick commands for objects within the GrandMA 3 software. By clicking and dragging on an empty cell, it'll give you common commands that you might use, like copy, label, move, and assign, as well as some more options. One thing I recommend is to not overcrowd your workspace. Since you can create multiple views and workspaces, it is always easier and less frustrating to use and switch between them than it is to overcrowd your screen and have limited accessibility to what you need. Now that you know where almost everything lives, you're ready to start working inside the GrandMA 3 software more confidently. In the next video, we'll cover patching, fixture selection, and basic controls, where we'll begin interacting with fixtures and building the foundation for our programming. If you're enjoying the series so far and would like to see more, make sure to subscribe, like the video, and comment something down below. If you'd like, you can also turn on notifications to get notified when I post a new video. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time on the QStack.